Well, yes, that look of despair was what enveloped a lot of Nigerians over the weekend after that match. And after that, the developments with the NFF. Well, that's what Judge Aluo is going to speak on. He's a roving sports editor of the Sun newspapers. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure, Chamberlain.
I mean, where do we even start from? Now, the 8 o'clock this morning is supposed to be when FIFA has said, look, Nigerian Football House, sort yourselves out or you get the axe. And then the Eagles have gone and played that match, which may be inconsequential depending on how FIFA responds to Nigeria. What's going on with us in this football?
Chamberlain, I'm taken aback myself that up to now, as we speak here, nothing has changed as far as the crisis in the football house is concerned. Nothing has changed. Last week, FIFA still gave us to September 8th, which is today, to say, sort yourself out. Those pretending or parading or claiming to be NFF board members and the president should step aside to pave way for a new election. And FIFA was very clear on that. And I think they've given us enough grace. But as we speak now, nothing has happened. Nothing has changed. The same persons that were parading themselves as the new leaders of NFF were in Calabar. And don't forget that this is the era of globalization. The world is a small village now. It's a global village. FIFA is monitoring everything that is happening. And it's not good for our football. You see that a direct fallout of why it is not even good for our football was our losing to Congo. I mean, for 40 years, Nigeria has never lost to Congo. We have never lost a game in Calabar. The worst result we've gotten was the draw we got against Kenya. But you saw us losing 3-2 to Congo. And that is because we did not do our homework before that game. And in football, you don't just wake up these days. Every country gets to this battle prepared. So you don't wake up ill-prepared and you want to win. So we lost that game, and we are almost on the verge of not qualifying for Morocco 2015, because the fact that you are defending champion does not give you automatic ticket. The only country that gets automatic ticket is the host country, Morocco. And you can see that the Moroccans are even preparing. They played Qatar in a friendly, while others are playing qualifiers. For us, what happened in 2012 may happen again, because in 2012 we had the same crisis, and at the end of the day, we did not qualify for the Nations Cup in Equatorial Guinea, Gabon. This time again, we are into another crisis, and we may not qualify for.
I mean, do you even think that it's a good idea, for defending champions not to make the tournament? Instead, you have the host country.
Yes, it's a good idea because, like they say in local parlance, let me put it this way, I get that before, it's not a property. That you were the defending champion in 2013 does not mean that you still parade that same team in 2015. So what football is all about is current form. I mean, the fact that Germany won the World Cup in Brazil does not mean that you still have the same German team at the next World Cup in Russia. No. So you have to come and prove that on current form you are good enough to defend the trophy you won the other time. So that is the whole thing, why defending champions don't get automatic ticket. If Germany does not qualify, play its way through Euro to get to Russia, they won't be there to defend their trophy.
The host country is not, some of them are not necessarily very strong footballing countries, so they could fall by the wayside.
There's no way you can host a competition without, the first thing is the host must be there, so that one is automatic.
I get the point, though, just trying to come
but back to the crisis, Chamberlain. As it is now, everything points to Nigeria getting FIFA sanction. And if we get that sanction by today, it means that we will not be in Morocco, because the moment we get the sanction, there will be no second opportunity for us to come back and play the games. It is very clear. The moment we get this sanction,
even if we eventually get our elections right,
yes,
we will not be
will not be in the competition. Let's get that right. There's no second chance. The moment FIFA gives us this ban and we don't play on Wednesday against South Africa, it means that that group will be reduced to 3 countries. That is very clear. The rules are very, very clear. So you don't get an opportunity to come back and play. So
because some of them may be thinking, okay, well, if you suspend us,
if we are suspended,
if we get our act together, we'll come back.
You don't do that kind of thing in football. You must follow the rules. It is very, very clear. The moment if for any reason we get a ban today, it means that we're out of Morocco 2015.
What about, that means if including all FIFA organized
competitions. And all that. We are not in any, as it were now, we are not in any race. All our clubs have been sent out of the club competitions in Africa. So the only thing that we'll lose now in the immediate is the Nations Cup in 2015. And it will be very, very painful if Nigeria is not in Morocco just because some people are holding our football to ransom. I mean, by now, I think we should have put our house in order. We are part of FIFA, Chamberlain, for Christ's sake. And once you ascribe to be a member of an international body, you must play according to the rules. FIFA is not actually interested in who becomes NFF president. FIFA is not interested in Nigeria as a person. Neither are they interested in any other human being in this country. But what FIFA is interested in is respecting their statutes. You must do the right thing. FIFA says this is our statutes. It is not meant for Nigeria alone. It is meant for every member of FIFA. So we just can't do it our own way. That is what we are trying to do. Because we have our own ways of doing our own things in our country, Nigeria. But once you are a member of an international body, you don't do it your own way. You respect the statutes. FIFA says that there must be an elective Congress, and that Congress, these are people that are supposed to vote and all that. But you know here, we have our way of doing our own things. But it doesn't work like that in the international
Yeah, but the thing about this is that, I mean, why is it that any time that there has to be an election into the NFF, there's always one crisis or the other?
Yes, there must be crisis.
Why is that the case?
Because of pecuniary interest.
Yes. It means we can't hold that election into those offices peacefully?
Peacefully, because of pecuniary interest. And come to look at it, why is it that it is every 4 years after the World Cup we'll have the same crisis? Every 4 years.
Is it that some people want to sit tight?
Beyond some people trying to sit tight, see, before this election came up, those who were there had already started shifting the goalposts, bending the rules to favor them, shutting out so many people from coming to have a shot at the presidency.
And FIFA didn't speak up at that time?
This is the genesis of the crisis. That is before the World Cup itself. And again, government is the number one funder of football in this country. So since you are putting your money, government wants to control the glass house. So government has interest. But the rule says that, yes, you may be funding it, but you don't control it. NFF is a parastatal of government. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to taking money from government, they become a parastatal. But the moment it becomes the election, they tell you they're a federation. So these are the challenges. Okay.
Now, in fact, was there even an election? Because you understand, Giwa has been parading himself as the helmsman at that place. He was in Calabar at the time, except after. Looking at all of those scenarios, how should we handle all of this?
Chamberlain, I don't think there was actually an election, so to speak, in the real sense of the word. Because there are so many issues, contending issues. So there was no Congress. The NFF Congress was supposed to start by 10 a.m. in the morning. And the minister did not get to address the Congress until about 6:30 in the evening. So how can you call that a Congress? And so many people who were supposed to be part of the Congress walked away because Maigari was arrested. So, and those who now held the Congress, quote and unquote, decided to even turn around the whole agreement reached at the office of the Secretary to Government that there will be no election. They went there and said there will be election, and they elected Giwa. That couldn't have, in spirit and in truth, that couldn't have passed for an election.
So why is it then difficult for Giwa to step down and let's sort all this out and avert the FIFA ban?
It's quite unfortunate that the man is still held on tenaciously to power. And what government should have done is to intervene and ensure that we are faced.
How can government intervene when FIFA has said government must not intervene?
But the same government has been intervening. There were meetings in the office of the Secretary to Government of the Federation, even to now sort out this. The National Assembly has even intervened and told Giwa to step down. So in the interest of our nation, Giwa should step down. There should be a fresh election. And like I said, all this charade that is going on, it is because we have not taken the bull by the horn to sanitize the system.
Because the thing is this, if government is funding it, and FIFA is okay with that, and they say, no, you can fund, but you can't control.
Yes.
So what then happens? Why doesn't government say, well, if that's the case, we'll stop the funding, let the NFF become a privately run
of course,
agency.
And that is what happens in other parts of the world. Government.
Why can't it happen here?
That is the problem we have it. In every other part of the world, government funds football too. They put their money in football, but that does not mean government creates the enabling environment for the game to thrive. But that does not mean that government should control it. We should get that clear. And that is why I'm saying that we should respect the statutes of FIFA as a nation, because we are part of this world. We cannot run things our own way. We cannot run this show in isolation. Yes, government is putting money into football, which it should do, but government should respect FIFA statutes.
Okay, have you heard anything from the Chairman House Committee on Sports lately? Because ever since he spoke at that time, it looks as though...
Honorable Gaya?
Yes.
Yeah, they've intervened and they took their position. And the truth is that they've told Giwa to step aside so that we would stave off this ban that is coming from FIFA. But the way things are now, from all indications, there is the likelihood that FIFA will sanction us. And if FIFA sanction us, they are not doing this thing because they hate Nigeria. We are the people that have failed to put our house in order. FIFA cannot fold its arm and allow you to rubbish its status. If Brazil do the same thing that Nigeria is doing, they will face sanction. If England do the same thing that Nigeria is doing, they will face sanction.
But the way it is now is this. If Giwa steps down and then the elections are conducted, who will that? It will be Megari that will conduct the Congress, wouldn't it? Or
yeah, they will conduct the election. And nobody says, I am not against Giwa coming to run. But what we are saying is that you shouldn't do it through the back door. The forms, even when they were conducting the first election, we knew that the Electoral Committee was not doing the right thing. How do you tell people to come and pick form on Friday, get people from 2 geopolitical zones of the country to endorse it, and you want the election to take place on Monday? It means that ab initio you have a hidden agenda. The truth is that every person that is part of this NFF crisis is not being sincere. They all have hidden agendas. And these hidden agendas are not in the interest of the nation. Everything that they are doing they are not putting national interest first. And that is where the whole thing is so annoying. And truth be told, if government is to actually intervene in this matter to sanitize the system, all this rubbish that is going on should stop. It should. Because look at even the accidents that have taken place in the glass house. Nobody is talking about it. You wake up one day, fire gutted the glass house, and interestingly, it started from the Accountant General's office. So it means that there are so many things to hide. Money has been missing in drawers, thousands of dollars. Nobody has talked about it. And this chariot continues to go on and on and on and on. And at the end of the day, it is Nigerian football that will suffer. And we have seen it. We have started the suffering. In Calabar, we lost to Congo, 3-2. So even if FIFA allows us to go ahead now and play, I don't see us qualifying because we have lost a home game, which we should have taken, and we are going to a South African team that is now supercharged. South Africa won away to Sudan 3-0. So how do you now go to Cape Town and beat them? It's a difficult task.
Well, who knows what happens. So today, we should get a word from FIFA and find out what the decision would be if we refuse
and
to shift
if we are
grounds.
banned, we'll have ourselves to blame. Because FIFA has actually given us a window of opportunity to say that on September 8th, you need to do the right thing. But as we speak now, nothing has been done, and it's quite unfortunate.
Well, it's at that unfortunate note that we'll have to let it go here. Oh, by the way, our condolences to Dingba, very fine veteran and gentleman of the press who was sad news when we heard that. Accept our condolences.
Very painful, very, very painful. In fact, the entire Sun family is in mourning mood. We've lost a thoroughbred journalist, a God-fearing man. It's so sad, so sad.
Wow, it's tough. We'll be back after this break. Join us again.